All right, what's up, and welcome into this episode of the Program Guys podcast. Well, it's more of a snippet episode. I'm not too sure what we're calling these yet. It's newer. I'll call it a snippet episode for now. Maybe the guys will hate me for that, and we can change the name. But we'll call it a snippet episode where we just kind of get on. We talk real quick about OU news. So today was OU Media Day. But before we start talking about OU Media Day and the first time Brent Venables really got to talk about Team 129. It'd be great if you could go ahead and like and subscribe. We've been sitting with about 1,400 followers the last few weeks. We're trying to get to 1,500 followers by the end of the month. So let's go ahead and do it with this episode right now. Let's get to 1,500 followers. Please go ahead and like and subscribe. All right, let's dig into this. So BV's first time talking about Team 129. And early enrollees got to talk, freshmen got to talk, which is significant. And we talked about this yesterday on the podcast that we dropped this morning, actually. If you haven't listened, please click out of this, go listen to it, and come back. But we talked about how it's significant that Brent Venables is letting these early enrollees and freshmen talk, because in the past we didn't let them. Lincoln Riley didn't let freshmen talk to the press. Bob Stoops only let freshmen talk to the press if they played. So Brent Venables allowing the early enrollees and all the freshmen to talk, I think is a really good thing. It's good for the media, it's good for the players, it's good for NIL. It's just good overall, and it's exciting that we got to just sit on Twitter all day and look at all these freshman videos and quotes and everything that we saw today. So really cool that BV allowed the freshmen and early enrollees to join in today on the fun. So something BV said today is we have 37 new scholarship players going to join by June 1st. Another huge number. Last year's number was huge too, right? I mean, remember Brent Venables last year would consistently say basically half the team's new. Most of these guys haven't had a lot of starts for OU. And we saw that come to reality last year. And that's not BV's plan. BV wants 3 to 4 year starters. That's how he won championships at Clemson. That's how he wants to win championships at OU. He wants these kids to develop, have starts, and be 3rd and 4th year starters. And he's going to have the opportunity to build that because he's got the 4th best recruiting class coming in to the country. And we got to hear from some of them today too. And the funniest thing today, I think, was Peyton Bowen talking about the whole Jackson Arnold thing, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, 37 new scholarship players. And also some transfers. So we got to hear from Rondell Bothroyd coming in from Wake Forest. When he played at Wake Forest, he played against Brent Venables at Clemson. So he's a defensive lineman coming in, transferring in, called Brent Venables a genius, which we all know he is. And, you know, he was asked, sometimes we play in a 3, sometimes we play in the 4. And this guy's just hyped to play OU football. He doesn't care how we're lining up, right? And I'm really excited for him to come in with his experience and really show Sooner Nation what he's got to bring. And I think he's pumped to do it, and I think he's going to pick up what BV's doing quick because he's been able to play against BV's defense in the past. So just a guy I'm really excited about. Another big name, Stogner. Stogner's back. BV, as expected, said the transition for Stogner has been seamless, which is awesome to hear. I'm super excited that Stogner's back. I have a lot of high expectations for Stogner. I think he's going to have a really, really big year. We needed someone to come in, fill that Braden Boa spot. And I think we've got the perfect guy to do it. A guy who wants to play for the program, who's had really good games at OU, and we know his potential, and it's sky high. Like, he could have an incredible year, and I'm extremely, extremely excited to see him play for OU again. So really cool he's back, really good that the transition has been seamless. Well, it was a Brent Venables press conference, so we got to talk about the cheetah position. Can't have a Brent Venables press conference without talking about the cheetah. 4 players were named to play the cheetah: Peyton Bowen, Reggie Pearson, Dasan McCullough, and Justin Harrington. So 3 of those guys are transfers, and then it's our 5-star Peyton Bowen. I think he's definitely going to go with one of the transfers, Dasan, Reggie, or Justin. Reggie, of course, Texas Tech, pretty much murdered Dylan Gabriel in overtime, if you remember that play. Dasan McCullough, really high hopes for him as well, coming in from Indiana. And then Justin Harrington, who was a JUCO guy. And we always have really good luck with JUCO guys. So I see one of those 3 guys starting, and I hope that Peyton Bowen also wiggles his way in as like the number 2 or number 3 in that position by the end of the year. And like I just mentioned, becomes a 3 or 4 year starter for the University of Oklahoma, because that's where we will win that national championship in 3 years. I have no doubt personally in that. So it'll be interesting to see who comes in, gets that starting name for the Cheetah position. But if I had to guess, I'm going to go with Dasan McCullough for now. But let's just see how things line up in the spring game. All right, big headline, big news. Jackson Arnold, 5-star QB coming in, and the things BB had to say about him. So, of course, he said he's a good leader, excited to have him, blah, blah, blah. Also said he's in the back of the line. So, interesting, BB there setting a precedent again, and the reason why I think he's setting this precedent that he's in the back of the line, we've talked about this a lot on the podcast, is if DG is not playing up to his potential, and trust me, we like DG. This podcast is pro DG. If DG's playing well, then it's good for OU that he's playing well and Jackson Arnold's in. We want Dillon Gabriel to have a good season and to play well. And I think we talk about this a lot. If DG's having a bad game or things aren't going right for 2 or 3 games with DG as starting quarterback, the stands will be calling for Jackson Arnold to come in. And I think that's part of the reason why BB is currently saying he's at the back of the line, right? Because we want to be clear that Dillon's our number 1 leader and our starter, and that's what I think BB is doing by saying this. Now, he is also saying he's not going to stay in the back of the line for long, probably just this season. And if it's Dillon's job to lose, so it could be possibly this season as well. But most likely next season. It's going to be Jackson next season and Dillon's to lose this season. So something Jackson said today, the biggest transition for him is really the terminology, and that's something I'm not worried about at all. I think Dillon's an awesome guy to sit under for a year. I think Dillon really cares about the legacy he's going to leave. I think he's going to help Jackson learn that terminology offline, like not at the not just at OU facilities, but as a teammate, really help him and guide him into Levy's offense. And I think we have the perfect setup for Jackson Arnold being under Dillon, someone who's played and knows Levy's offense like the back of his hand for such a long time. So super excited for Jackson. Super excited to hear about all these guys today. Really cool day for Twitter again. Get to scroll through and hear what BB has to say about Team 129. So I'm excited. It was a great day for OU fans. We're back for now, right? Now we have to wait for that spring game for more kind of OU news on April 22nd. But again, please go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,500 followers by the end of the month. We'll have an episode out for you every single week. So thank you so much for listening and keep listening.